It's the 7th generation of Audi's executive sedan. The A6 is back with its elegant looks and agile handling. It's almost 5 meters long, but under 1.50 meters high. Its eye-catching sporty contours stretch from the long hood over the flat roof to the tail. And the Audi Drive Select handling system now comes as standard across the A6 range. Audi's Mark Meissner says the A6 is one of Audi's most important models, as shown by its success down the years. Since 1968, Audi has sold over 7 million A6s across the globe. He says the A6 has always symbolized Audi's pioneering spirit of Vorsprung durch Technik. It was the first model to include TDI technology, lightweight construction, and the very successful Avant body. Thanks to its aluminum components and high-tech steels, the new A6 is 80 kilograms lighter than its predecessor. Audi has succeeded in bucking the trend towards heavier sedans, which have been weighed down by a wide range of extra features. The new A6 will also be available as an Avant station wagon. But last year, sedan production outnumbered wagon versions by 4 to 1. The Audi man says the new A6 is a very sporty executive sedan. It has clear lines combined with very flat features, the new single frame, and the latest LED technology. Time to test the more powerful of the two gasoline engines, the 3-liter TFSI Quattro with 220 kilowatts. A thermal management system, start-stop, and energy recovery features add up to better fuel consumption. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 5.5 seconds. The speed is limited electronically to 250 kilometers per hour. The A6 has split-fold rear seats. The trunk boasts 530 liters of capacity, with the seats up. The new A6 also sets new standards with the generous width of the trunk opening. The interior leaves nothing to be desired. The cockpit provides a luxurious setting for the driver and front passenger. The A6 now comes with the highly responsive 7-speed S-tronic automatic transmission. An active lane assistant helps keep the driver on track. Maximum visibility at night comes with a little help from outer space. A satellite delivers data on the vehicle's position to the navigation device, which feeds the information to the headlights. The beam is automatically adjusted to the specific location. The car also helps the driver to see hard-to-spot hazards, like a jogger out at night. The new A6 is being launched with 2 gasoline and 3 diesel engines. The most economic version, the 2-liter 130-kilowatt diesel, will hit the market at a later date. Audi says it'll consume just 4.9 liters per 100 kilometers, with CO2 emissions of 129 grams per kilometer. Audi is also planning an A6 hybrid with a 180-kilowatt engine that consumes 6.2 liters of gasoline per 100 kilometers. Pushing a car to its limits. At CeBIT, the world's biggest high-tech show, Ralf Schumacher took a McLaren SLR for a spin or two. But this wouldn't be possible in many vehicles without first disabling driver assistance systems. They're the result of advances in safety technology, and here are some more that could be on the way. This model car can't do the same moves as Ralf Schumacher, at least not yet. But it still is a very special car because it drives itself without leaving the road or bumping into obstacles. It's being developed by students at Braunschweig University of Technology for a competition on self-guided vehicles. The camera on top scans the road ahead, explains student Lars Kelke. The car has an outboard computer that analyzes the images from the camera, and the actuator responds accordingly, controlling the speed and steering and keeping the car on the road.
Geschwindigkeit stellen und lenken und versuchen dann auf der Straße zu bleiben.
This driving simulator pioneers another smart system that's been given a big chance of making it into production. It's machine-to-machine communication. In this case, from the car to the traffic lights. It allows the driver to adjust the car's speed to the next green light, saving fuel. The German Aerospace Center's Daniel Thielen says it is based on wireless network technology, but not standard wireless technology used in mobile phones or notebooks. It's next-generation Wi-Fi called Wireless P. It's been developed especially for things like car-to-car or car-to-infrastructure communication. Ford is also busy packing cars with smart features. At CeBIT, it showcased a first in Germany: voice command and touchscreen control based on new sync technology. It allows the driver to control the air conditioning, navigation system, or radio by voice command. The hands stay where they should, on the wheel. Sascha Knapp is taking a test drive in a new compact sports utility vehicle. He says he's testing the Kia Sportage with a 2-liter CRDI engine with 136 horsepower. It's almost identical to the Hyundai iX35. It was designed in Germany together with a Korean car maker and is being made in Slovakia. The chassis of the Kia Sportage feels very firm. It corners well, and the driver can feel the sound contact with the road. The Sportage includes a range of safety features as standard, including electronic stability control and a braking assistant. He says it's unusual for an SUV to have a lower seating position, and it's hard to know where the front and rear are. The Kia Sportage accelerates from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 11.3 seconds. Its top speed is 181 kilometers per hour. The manufacturer says it consumes 5.7 liters of fuel for 100 kilometers. But how does it fare in our test? It consumed 9.4 liters, not as good as other SUVs. And almost 4 liters more than the manufacturer's claim. Next up on our test, the turning radius. Sascha says the Sportage is now in its 3rd generation, and although it's longer, the turning radius is smaller, down from 12 meters to 10.5. That makes a big difference, especially in crowded car parks. Another useful feature for turning and parking is the rear-view camera. He says the Kia Sportage has 3 features to help prevent bumps or minimize their impact. The first is the bumper, the second, the parking sensors, and thirdly, the rear-view camera. The Kia looks dynamic yet bulky. That's emphasized by the fog lights and the large grille, but the view from the side shows how compact it is for an SUV. The trunk has a capacity of 465 liters up to the window and 564 liters up to the roof. The cabin is clearly structured. Despite a lot of plastic, all the controls look elegant and robust. The low seating position and door sills make getting in easier. The rear is comfortable and offers plenty of legroom. The Kia Sportage is a compact SUV that is more at home on the road than off it. Time for the expert's verdict. Cars from Asia are a common sight on Germany's roads. Kia literally means rising out of Asia, and the Sportage is no exception. Prices begin in Germany at 20,000 euros, and you get a lot for your money. The model we tested cost 32,600 euros and has pretty much the complete package. It has a glass panorama sunroof, leather seats, and orange paintwork. BMW's third-generation 6 Series Coupe is on the way, following hot on the heels of the convertible version. It has an eye-catching look at the front and a more familiar style at the rear. It comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission, a start-stop function, and a head-up display. Exterior lights used LED technology. And there are 2 engines available, a 235 kilowatt and a 300 kilowatt version. The new 6 Series Coupe launches in Germany in the middle of the year, with prices starting at 74,700 euros. Mercedes has been showcasing the new generation of its C-Class. Compared with its predecessor, fuel consumption has been lowered by 31%. That's due to new engines, the latest version of the automatic 7G-tronic Plus, and the Eco Start-Stop function. There are 10 new driver aids, which monitor everything from driver fatigue to the distance to other vehicles. The C-Class made its debut in 1982, when it was still known as the 190 series. Since then, Mercedes-Benz has sold over 8.5 million vehicles in the segment. Northern Finland, February 2011. Snow and ice as far as the eye can see. But the peace and quiet is about to be disturbed. Here on the frozen Baltic, preparations are underway for a very special world record attempt. He says Bentley has a very close partnership with 4-time Rally World Champion Juha Kankkunen. He saw the Bentley Continental Supersports and thought, as a native Finn, he could attempt to break the ice speed record. He decided to try a high-speed attempt on the Baltic Sea. The track and the car need careful preparation. This is a Bentley Continental Supersports convertible with Pirelli 275 winter tires on 20-inch wheels. The rims have been covered to reduce wind resistance. The bid to break the old record of 321.6 kilometers per hour approaches. With preparations complete, it's time for Juha Kankkunen to take the wheel. The team hopes the weather doesn't have any surprises in store. A strong gust of wind could throw the car off course. Kankkunen drives the 14-kilometer course in both directions. The car has been equipped with a parachute to slow down the car if things go wrong, but he doesn't need it today. But can he break the old record on the bumpy ice? .69 kilometers an hour, a new world record. It's a speed many fast cars could hit on tarmac, but not on ice.
You know, it's always moving quite a lot because the ice is never flat, and the regulation says that you can't make it has to be natural ice. So it's always a bit bumpy and always trying to slide a bit, but it was quite good, yeah.
At the Geneva Motor Show earlier in March, Bentley showed off the record-breaking car alongside its roadworthy counterpart, the Bentley Continental Supersports ISR. It is available in a limited edition of just 100 and comes with a 471 kilowatt engine. Despite all that power under the hood, Bentley hasn't neglected environmental considerations. The Bentley man says 90% of the carmakers' new vehicles use E85 biofuel. It's a mixture of 85% ethanol and 15% conventional fuel. The powertrains, fuel tank systems, and all the fuel lines are designed around it. And that's Bentley's contribution to the CO2 emissions goal of the European Union. Biofuel was even used for the successful world record attempt. but records are there to be broken. Despite the euphoria, Bentley's ice speed record has already fallen again. An Audi A6 clocked 331.6 kilometers per hour. This is the Peugeot 403 convertible. Probably its most famous owner was Peter Falk, alias Lieutenant Colombo. Colombo's trusty French vehicle made its first on-screen appearance back in 1971. The episode was called Death Lends a Hand. Colombo was in his trademark trench coat, complete with cigar and trademark quips. When asked about the exotic-looking French car, the detective revealed his own lack of knowledge. A 1950 Peugeot. They're very rare. Rare indeed, except the model was built in 1959. Another thing that stands out is that Colombo almost always drove with the roof closed. Despite being in California, the sun-kissed Golden State, Colombo always did seem to be his own man. And his car's unkempt appearance was also rather un-Californian. He rarely washed it, and each new episode seemed to see a new dent in its bodywork. The legendary detective seemed happy to allow his car to fall into decline. Different strokes for different folks. Most of today's 403 convertible owners have a different approach. They appreciate what they've got, a real rarity with just 2,000 units built. In total, all versions of the 403 sold 1.2 million units. The exterior styling was the work of experts at Pininfarina, a marriage of Italian class with French elegance. Typical for the pontoon form were the bulge on the hood and the suggestion of fins at the rear with the vertical rear lamps. The roof setup was extremely modern for its time. Just one lever was needed to unlock everything. The soft top disappears behind the rear seats in no time. Then just button down, and it's ready for the road. Whether open top or not, this is a slick look and ride, albeit one ideally enjoyed in the front, given the storage of space in the back. Leather seats were standard at the time, and the mid-range convertible was ultimately considered a luxury model. In technical terms, however, it was nothing special and shared the same platform as the 403 sedan and wagon versions. Under the hood, it had a 4-cylinder gasoline engine with a side camshaft. The engine had a 1,500 cc capacity, generating a rather unspectacular 65 horsepower. These stats were in line with Peugeot's aims for the model, a luxurious but certainly not sporty convertible that was also suited to longer journeys. The 403 convertible was unveiled at the 1956 Paris Motor Show. Visitors were bowled away by its elegance. Right next to it was the 403 wagon, a beast of burden for all occasions, and seating up to 8 people, extremely practical. Not far away, the rivals over at Citroën were enjoying a lot of attention thanks to exhilarating new designs. The Peugeot 403 never generated the excitement that the Citroën DS or ID did, but its robust character did make it very popular on the domestic market. It was featured in Peugeot's range for 10 years. Plus, the diesel engine introduced in 1959 made the car a practical option for use in North Africa. The French convertible is a fascinating classic, not just because of its starring role in Colombo. As only 2,000 units were made in total, the chances of bumping into other 403 convertible owners are practically zero. While regular 403 models are still available today at reasonable prices, the convertibles are in huge demand. Our red protagonist is not available for purchase. It belongs to the Peugeot Museum in Sochaux.